Welcome to Saheeli playing against Rankle. And also, Rankle just sitting there just like, what's up? As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Castle Vantress Island and the Royal Scions. Yeah, I think this is, I think that sounds pretty good. We've got Improbable Alliance too. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. And hopefully, we'll see what we're doing against Rankle. This should be a pretty interesting match. So let's lead off with, I guess, doesn't really matter because we're going to have an island come down. So we'll just go and lead off with Island, and then, yeah, we're just going to go and pass the turn. So we're playing Saheeli. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 color to serve an artifact creature token. Then for a -2, let's go ahead and discard a card. Okay, so I guess at this point, Lava Coil does allow us to deal with Rankle, so we probably want to hold on to that pretty bad. We're going to have the Royal Scions. If we can just get down one of our, I guess Improbable Alliance is probably the weakest card in our hand, because everything else is actually pretty nice. So let's lead off Command Tower, and then pass the turn to our opponent. Yep, sounds like a plan. So we're playing Saheeli. Cast a non-creature spell. We get a 1/1 servo token. Then -2, we can have an artifact we control become the copy of a target artifact or creature that we control until end of turn. Yep, until end of turn. Playing against Rankle. Flying in haste whenever Rankle does combat damage to a player. Choose any number. Each player discards a card. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. So we'll definitely want to deal with that. No Blood Operative does have lifelink, enters the battlefield, exile, surveil. Yeah, I think we'll be okay with that. Do we want to go Royal Scions? Now, if we go Royal Scions, we go +1, that's going to be 6, that's going to be Blood Operative, and then that's going to be Rankle coming down pretty soon. So, but we're not going to have any other removal for once Rankle comes down. So I think at this point, we do have Disdainful Stroke that we can leave up for Rankle. I think I kind of like going for that. So let's do a little bit of testing. Let's just lead off with, is it Guildgate? It's going to enter the battlefield tapped. If we can catch Rankle with Disdainful Stroke and just kind of set them back on their discard game plan, that'll really kind of help us, give us some time to hopefully establish a little bit of a better board. So, all right, so we're going to see Rankle come down. Let's go for Disdainful Stroke, and then we'll probably try to go for Lava Coil on Blood Operative, because with that being a 3/1, it's going to be really hard for us to get either of our 3-drop Planeswalkers down, which is going to be pretty rough. So we've got the command tax set back up on Rankle. Yeah, and I think, so we go Temple of Epiphany. Yeah, I like this. So we're going to go Temple of Epiphany, get the Scry and Scurry and the Fever going. Now, with Stolen by the Fae, this is kind of a weird one for the deck. Well, I guess technically it is kind of some type of removal. So we'll leave that on top, and with the sacrifice ability, that'll really kind of help us out. Now, the question is, do we want to go for Blood Operative? And actually, if we do this, I kind of like this. So we go for Saheeli. They swing in with the entire crew. That's going to be 4. That's going to put Saheeli down to 1, because with Saheeli, we don't really care about the activations. The main thing that we're trying to go for with Saheeli is that we want to get those tokens on the battlefield. So even if she sits at 1, that's going to be perfectly fine. That gives us the opportunity to go for the Royal Scions and go for Lava Coil if that's something that we want to happen. So that allows us to get a few extra flying tokens, and it'll also kind of stop Rankle too, which should be a pretty good thing. So, Death Touch and Lifelink, that is perfectly fine with us. So, okay, Dorothy. Dorothy is my cat, if you don't know. She's my production assistant, and then sometimes when she's being my production assistant, she gets tired and she wants to go into my lap. So, just giving you a heads up. So that's why I said Dorothy. Let's have a Mountain enter the battlefield. That's going to be the Royal Scions. Yeah, I like this. That's going to allow us to cash in a card draw. That's going to be an extra servo token. And then once we go for Lava Coil, draw a card, then discard a card. And yeah, that's pretty much what we want to be doing. Oh, then burn bright. Okay, that'll be good on the back end. What are we going to get rid of? I think at this point, I think we kind of want to get rid of Chemist's Insight, because we can always get rid of, yeah, because actually Burn Bright, it's just not going to do much for us at this point right now. And do we want a Lava Coil? Yeah, let's do that. Let's Lava Coil on Blood Operative. Because if they don't hit the land drop for Rankle, then we're going to be able to trade with both of these creatures. So that's going to get rid of Blood Operative, and then we're going to pass the turn. So let's keep our fingers crossed they don't hit that land drop. If they don't, that's going to keep us off Rankle, and that's going to allow us to hopefully cash in a little bit of extra stuff. But at this point right now, we're going for Royal Scions game plan. We're going to go for that +1 draw card, discard a card. We need to kind of build up our board state just a little bit better. If we run into Ral Zarek or something like that, ooh. So we get hit with Finale of Eternity. That does clear the way for Saheeli, but with Saheeli being a 3-mana planeswalker, hey, that is a-okay. And they did not hit the land drop. So we're going to send Saheeli back to the command zone. There we go. And the main thing is we got some card advantage, which is really going to help us out. So, and that's going to be Duress. So if they want to take Chemist's Insight, probably going to take Stolen by the Fae, because that's pretty much our only answer to Rankle. And so that's fine. But if they take Chemist's Insight, we can always just jump start it out of the graveyard. So we're actually going to be okay on this Duress. So they do end up taking Stolen by the Fae. So we go Saheeli, and that's going to be our entire turn. Let's loot a little bit first. Let's go for the +1. We're going to cash in a card, draw, discard. Ooh, Niv Mizzet. Yes, that's exactly what we want to see. Let's do this. So let's get rid of Chemist's Insight. Let's go Castle Vantress, and then let's go for Niv Mizzet. Oh, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted to see. Now, we are open to Liliana's Triumph. You know, target player sacrifices a creature, but at this point right now, I really like this. We are open to spot removal, but at least we're going to be able to cash in. Oh, no, they're going to be able to dodge the destroy target creature spell by not letting us get a card draw with Cavalier of Night. So a little bit of a bummer, but at least we kind of forced them to go for that. Oh, and I think we got no, we did go for Royal Scion activation. Okay, so let's go for another loot. We're going to +1. Oh, that was a bummer. All right, so discard a card. Once again, risk factor is Jumpstart, so we're going to just dump that into the graveyard. Let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Mountain. And then Saheeli, that's going to be a 4/5. Yeah, I think we kind of want to make sure that we can kind of churn both of those out. Do we want to hold on to an extra card in the hand? That's going to be the kicker. Yeah, if we end up going Saheeli, that kind of puts our opponent in this weird spot with Cavalier of Night. Yeah, I kind of like this because if they want to swing in both crew at Saheeli, they can get rid of that. If they just swing Cavalier of Night at the Royal Scions, either way, I think that's going to be fine for us. It looks like they're still not hitting the land drop, which is pretty good for us. You know, I don't like it when somebody is not hitting their resources, but when you're playing Brawl, that's one of the better things. So, but our opponent does have an interesting choice. So they have Cavalier of Okay, they're going to swing the entire crew at Saheeli. Fair enough. That is, yeah, we'll put Saheeli back into the command zone. Now, if we hit Murmuring Mystic, we can dodge a lot of this, like, this like sub game where we're trying to and let's see if that card was a swamp. No, it's not. It's gonna be Foulmire Knight, so that's gonna be 5. All right, so we run into another lane for the turn. I think we just go Saheeli. I think that'll be good. Let's draw and discard first though. Draw a card, then discard a card, and that's gonna be Castle Imbrith. We do have a mountain, so I guess we'll just get rid of mountain just to be safe. Let's go for Saheeli. And I know we're just kind of running her out and getting her commander tanks going. We're just trying to find some sort of answer for us. And I think at this point, if we have Chemist's Insight, we might want to hold on to, because I kind of like getting down Firemind Vessel, because that's going to allow us to potentially get to Saheeli at some point. So we are getting a little bit close to the -8 with Royal Scions, draw 4 cards. All right, so they're fine. We're going to see old Rankle come down. Creepy looking dude. And that's going to be Cavalier of Night at the Royal, and that's going to be Rankle at Royal. Yeah, because this just creates some interesting situations for them. So if we have Saheeli stick around, which it looks like it is, yeah, Saheeli will stick around. That'll be pretty good for us. So let's have Castle enter the battlefield. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 total mana. And we already did make the land drop for the turn. Yeah, let's do this. So let's go for precognitive perception. I just made up a card name. Do we want Dwarven Mine? That's going to give us an extra token. Ooh, Reckless Airstrike is. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna leave that on top. That'll be a good option for us. So that'll be Brazen Borrow. We can actually go for. Let's go for Reckless Airstrike on Rankle. That way we just get rid of that. We're going to get an extra token on the battlefield. That's going to allow us to block on Cavalier of Night. And that still keeps us open on Brazen Borrower. So we don't really want to bounce Brazen Borrower back to the hand at this point right now. But we'll see exactly what we want to use it for. And this is kind of what you want to do with the deck. You know, there's a lot of times where it looks like we're not really progressing our board state, but we're just, you know, this is a tempo deck. You know, you want to get to the late game to where you have a lot of mana, and then you just kind of go for a couple different card draw and just really Brazen Borrow, Reeve Soul. Okay, that's going to destroy target creature with power 3 or less. And they're also spending resources on tokens, which is not great for them. So, and that's also what kind of makes this deck a lot of fun. And that's going to be Murder on the servo token. I think we go Brazen on Vampire, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Yeah, we go Brazen on Vampire of Dire Moon. That's going to give us an extra servo token to block on Cavalier of Night, because if we untap with Saheeli, that's going to be really good for us too. So it's hard not to laugh at Brazen Borrow. It's such a goofy looking animation. Like, okay, they're going to have Disfigure, so they will be able to deal with Saheeli. Look how much resources got spent on our tokens. That's I'll definitely make that trade. All right, so poor Saheeli's finally, we're going to send Saheeli back to the command zone. She's looking pretty busted. She's got a black eye right now. She's not feeling so hot. But we can still cast her, which is pretty important, I think. No, we can't. We have to, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. So we're at 9 mana at this point right now. This is going to enter the battlefield tapped. So we go Dwarven Mine. That's going to allow us to get an extra. Oh, when it enters untapped. Oh, excuse me. We only got 2 mountains. I thought we had that. So do we want to? And we can flash in Brazen Borrower if we need to. So we're going to go for Firemine Vessel, because that's going to give us a little bit ahead on mana. And we've got Radical Idea. Yeah, I think Radical... Yeah, sorry, this is kind of a weird hand. We've got different zones. That's what it is. Radical Ideas in our hand. These are Jumpstart, and this is Brazen that we can cast for Flash. So, yeah, let's do that. So let's just go and pass the turn. We don't necessarily have to, you know, throw Brazen in front of Cavalier of Night. It's really not doing much right now. It's just swinging in as a 4/5. And so we can actually just flash it. We can take the damage at this point right now and flash in Brazen. That way we can just kind of utilize our mana and have a blocker for Saheeli next turn, which will be pretty nice. So it looks like they will be able to finally go for Rankle again, I think. No, that's going to be 8 mana. So I get that commander tax going back in there. Oh, I just now realized they're at 50 life. So we've got ourselves cut out for a game. So let's go for Brazen Borrower. Oh, and I just now remembered that we can only we can only block. Oh, Magic Mirror. I think that's going to be 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on it. We have no maximum hand size. So if we tap out for Saheeli, that's pretty much all of our mana. And they've got an entire board state that they can run into. So I guess at this point, we're just kind of on the Magic Mirror game plan. So we'll have Magic Mirror come down. And I think we Chemist's Insight, discarding Radical Idea. Because at this point, we just need to get some card advantage. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to Chemist's Insight. I'd like to make the land drop. We still going to be able to go for Radical Idea. Okay, Evolving Wilds, which is nice. We're going to be able to crack Evolving Wilds. Definitely want to use that ability. Let's go and grab ourselves another island. We're going to go for Chromatic Lantern. And then we're just going to have access to a ton of mana. And then no attack from the Brazen Borrower. All right, so we're going to kick it back over there. So at the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on it. Then we get to draw a card for each counter on Magic Mirror. And so that's going to be some pretty good card advantage. They're going to swing in with the crew. That's going to put us down to 7. Now, we do need to find something for Cavalier of Night sometime soon. But with us hitting a lot of these extra mana rocks, that does allow us to hopefully go for Saheeli. So, oh, they're going to go for Playcrafter. Well, that's not the end of the world with Playcrafter. Okay, now if we hit Murmuring Mystic, that would be really good. Because we hit Murmuring Mystic, that's going to allow us to... Alright, so Mystic Sanctuary, we can put something on top, an instant or sorcery on top of our library. Okay, so we can mission briefing for like pre-field. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to surveil for 2. At this point, we're just digging for... And if we can deal, how many instant or sorceries do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so if we end up going for Ral Zarek, that's going to allow us to deal with Cavalier of Night. And I think we leave both of these on top. I think these are perfectly fine. So let's choose which one's going to get flashback, basically. That's going to be Field. Let's go for Field. And we'll put Island on the bottom. We're going to bring back Ral Zarek. Let's make the land drop for the turn. And with Mystic Sanctuary, we can actually put Mission Briefing back on top. Let's go for Ral Zarek. We're going to go for the minus off Cavalier of Night. That does allow them to bring a creature back, but I think we're going to be okay. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're still going to be able to try to stabilize in some form or fashion. It's going to be Burglar Rat. We'll get rid of Island at this point right now. Okay, then pass the turn. So that's going to be 1, 2, 5, 6. Oh, that's going to be exactly just enough. I miscalculated on that. With them bringing back Burglar Rat, and especially once they bring down Rankle. So, yeah, this is one of those that, unfortunately, with them being able to just deal with Saheeli, we couldn't build that board state going. So, I still like this build. You know, it's a pretty good build of Saheeli. And so, we'll kind of see if there's any tweaks that need to be made. Now, if you've been playing a blue-red Spellslinger deck, I'd definitely like to get your take on it. So if there's any suggestions you can give me, let me know. But had a pretty good indication of Saheeli. And the way I'm going to do these Brawl decks is I'd love to get wins. I always love to get wins. But if we're not going to get a win, I at least want to showcase what the deck can do. We definitely put the deck through the ropes on this one. And so in a lot of these decks, you know, these are the kind of the first couple of times I'm playing these decks because I've built about 20 Brawl decks. And so I'm always going to try my best to play the best Magic that we can, but at least in the early stages of Brawl, I want to get these videos out there. That way, you as the viewer, if you have any suggestions, you can hop in there and let me know and different things like that. But I will see you in the next game. All right, bye. Welcome to Saheeli Tokens playing against Oko. So this should be a pretty fun matchup. I enjoy it. This is kind of almost. I'm trying to think if this is going to make sense. It's almost kind of like a Delver deck in a way, but not exactly Delver. I'll explain it here in a second. But as far as opening hand goes, we've got Fabled Passage, Castle of Interest, Dwarven Mine, so it's going to be 3 lands. We have some card advantage stolen by the Fae. Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. I mean, we have a ramp that we can ramp into. We have card draw and some good utility stuff. There's no reason to mulligan this one, so we're going to keep on this one. And this is my first time playing against Oko, and I've heard nothing but unfun stuff about Oko in Brawl, so we'll see what it's about. But, drawing into the Royal Scions is a very nice thing. So enters the battlefield unless you control 3 or more mountains. So let's set it up this way. So we just lead off with... Either way, that's going to come into play tapped. And then we could potentially go and then Fabled Passage. Yeah, if we're trying to set up an Is It Lock It for sure, let's just go and lead off with Dwarven Mine. We have nothing for 1, so we'll just enter that and have it near the battlefield tapped and pass the turn. So, we're playing Saheeli. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Then for a -2, target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. And our opponent's off to to Oko pretty quick. It was a nice little play. Nice sequencing with Gilded Goose, I should say. With Fabled Passage, nothing for 2. So we're going to go Fabled Passage. We're going to crack Fabled Passage for an island. That way this Castle of Interest will enter the battlefield tap when we get ready to go for Is It Lock It. So have that enter the battlefield tap. Playing against Oko. +2, create a food token. +1, target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3. Then for a -5, exchange control target artifact or creature you control and target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. So with Oko, I saw this thing on Twitter, and if I remember, I'll try to put it up here, but it was like this, you know how they do those fake infographics to where, this is what you should do in case, the plane starts to go down. It's like those cartoon drawings. Well, for some reason, there's this guy, swinging a deer around his head and, hitting 3 people, and they basically just said, this is Oko in all the Magic formats, and that... It felt pretty good. I don't know. I just really enjoyed seeing that. Okay, so let's have Castle of Interest come down. We're looking at a 2/1. They will be able to put some pressure on the Royal Scions if that's going to happen. So we go, Is It Lock It? And that's going to allow... I think at this point, because we can make the land drop for next turn. Let's do this. Let's just go for Saheeli. I kind of like that. We can go Saheeli, and the next turn we can, worst case scenario, we can go Is It Lock It and opt to get a few tokens on the battlefield. So, but yeah, we did cover both commanders. It is officially free time. Let's have some fun. Now, as far as this Saheeli deck, this is, I kind of mentioned earlier, it's almost kind of like a Delver deck. It's just a really nice blue-red tempo deck. You know, the converted mana cost on this deck's pretty low. We do have, I think, is Niv Mizzet in here? Yeah, Niv Mizzet is in here, so that's kind of one of the higher and converted. Oh, look at that old man questing beast, and poor Saheeli never even had a chance. All right, we're gonna send Saheeli back to the command zone, and whew, that was pretty rough. All right, so now we've got to deal with a questing beast. So we go Temple of Epiphany, so we can scry and scurry and get some fever, maybe just a little bit of insanity. Sinister Sabotage. I feel that is nice, but if we just don't keep up with this board state, we need to hit land. So that's going to be really important. So let's put that on the bottom. As much as I would like to hold on to it, we're going to go Is It Lock It. If we just don't generate some mana to go wider than our opponent, then it's just really not going to do anything. Because we need to get Saheeli back down so we can stabilize and get a few more tokens. Get out of here, Fox. Now, the only downside with Questing Beast is that with Questing Beast, it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And so, and then plus, once it gets in and deals some damage, it's going to be able to pop Saheeli. So, that's something that we definitely want to keep in mind. But as far as the converted mana costs of the deck, you know, there's some good stuff in here. This is kind of equated to almost like a cube deck. Maybe that's a better description. We've got some good stuff. We've got the Dak Faden for the deck. That's going to be the Royal Scions, allow you to get some really nice looting for 3 mana. We do have Electrostatic Field. That's whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, that's going to be 1 damage to each opponent. It's all basically, it's just about spreading as much overlapping, you know, strategies as possible into one deck. So let's say we have Electrostatic Field down, we have Iron Creek Pyromancer. Whenever we draw our second card, we get to deal 3 damage to something. And so, and then obviously we have Saheeli. She cares about casting non-creature spells to get a few tokens on the battlefield. You're just going to be able to create this this board state that's thriving, and you're just going to be able to generate, you know, like we go for opt, and the fact that we can have an extra damage tag along from one creature from the Electrostatic Field, then we get that extra 3 damage from Ironcrack Pyromancer, and then we get a token from Saheeli. It's all pretty good. It's all pretty nice. So we do have Ral Zarek that we could potentially go for, but that's just immediately going to get hit by Questing Beast and Cloudkin Seer. And we can go for Stolen by the Fae, but we're going to be pretty much back in the same spot. So we've got 5 mana available. I guess if we're going to, we have no instant or sorceries in the graveyard. We got 1 card in the graveyard. We can like Brazen if we want to bounce Oko back to our opponent's hand, or if we want to bounce Mu Yanling. I think that's how you say it. I might be wrong. But yeah, I guess we just go Ral Zarek. Look at the top 2 cards. I mean, this is almost like a 5 mana like scry 2 and draw a card almost. It's not a great feeling, but at this point, just kind of want to muddy up their decision to swing in. All right, so we're going to put Command Tower into our hand. That's going to go into the graveyard. I don't think we've made the land drop for the turn either. So, and then anything else, we'll go and pass the turn over there. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are at 6 mana. Do need to try to get down Saheeli. That's going to be 5 for the turn. So we still, now that we did make that last land drop, that does allow us to at least cash in an extra token. But like I mentioned, with the Questing Beast being unblockable by little dudes or little servos, that's not going to be that great for us. So now let's see if our opponent's going to bite on this Ral Zarek, or if they're going to, okay. So they're going to send in Cloudkin Seer, Ral Zarek. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, they can deal that damage and then redirect the damage over there. So that will definitely get rid of it. Questing Beast is such a such a good card. Can really deal some planeswalkers. And yeah, here's the point. Because if we end up getting target creature with power 3 or less, they're going to be able to greet those food tokens. They're going to have Wicked Wolf enter the battlefield. It's going to be able to fight a creature. So we go for the Royal Scions. It's going to be plus, and then potentially Saheeli. I just don't know. Because even if we just Stolen by the Fae, which Stolen by the Fae is a sorcery speed, they're just going to recast Questing Beast. But that does give us a few other options, though, which we can go for that. I guess, worst case scenario, we just do that and get some fairies. Because everything else is just going to get eaten up by Questing Beast. So, yeah, if we're going to try to set up something, So X is going to be 4. We're going to target Questing Beast. And we're going to auto pay on this. We're still going to make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Evolving Wilds. So we'll get that down. We'll see what else they're going to go for, but I think with them being tapped out, this will at least allow us to get a few more tokens down and try to survive. So let's have Evolving Wilds in. Let's go and crack Evolving Wilds. That way we don't forget about it. And so we do have a lot of blue. Actually, we'll go and grab a red source. So let's go and grab this mountain, have that come into play tapped, and then pass it back over to our opponent. So we can start to target their planeswalkers right now, but I think at this point we just need to try to stabilize. The good thing about sending Questing Beasts back to their hand is it was kind of like a tempo play. We got to, if they want to recast it and be aggressive, we could force them to recast it this turn. That would pretty much be the entire turn, but they're going to end up going for Kiora, which is untapped target permanent. So let's see what they're going to happen. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, with the sequencing, they can still end up going for Questing Beasts. So okay, so Questing Beast is coming down. And yeah, I still can't get over how creepy those those animations look. They're real creepy looking. It's kind of one of those, like, I enjoy the card art, but you see those animations, that's spooky, not gonna lie. Alright, so they're gonna turn Cloudkin Seer into a 3/3 elk dude. And they're gonna make our fairy grounded. And do we need to preserve a life total? I mean, basically, I guess if they're gonna keep popping down a fairy, might as well just eat a little bit of damage. We're gonna take the rest of it. It's gonna be 7. It's going to put us down to 8. And then we run into Murmuring Mystic. So we go Murmuring Mystic. That still gives us access to 3 mana. And we could potentially Radical Idea, but we're still in that same boat to where we need to deal with that Questing Beast. So that's going to be, yeah, we're sitting at 3. Yeah, I guess if we're going to try to deal with Questing Beasts, we almost need to. But then if we go Murmuring Mystic, then they're just going to gain control of Oak. They're going to use Oko to gain control of it. We could always go for Brazen during their upkeep. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna try. I mean, this the odds of us winning is probably not that good. I'm not super wild about this, but we're gonna try. All right, so we're gonna have Murmuring Mystic come down. The good thing about Murmuring, no, excuse me, with power 2 or less, so we can't even block on Questing Beast. And so we'll have Murmuring Mystic come down. We'll go for Brazen to send Oko back. We're gonna send Oko back to their hand. That's gonna be an extra 1/1 blue bird token on the battlefield. And that still gives us the opportunity to go for Opt too, which allows us to cash in some card draws. So it's the first time I've seen that art. So goofy. Okay, I really appreciate Wizard's ability to make some of these goofy. He looked like he was ready to give us a high five. Like, hey man, do we need that? Yeah, we actually do need that lane. Yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we need to deal with Questing Beast. All right, so we sent that back. Let's make the land drop for the turn. And then, do we want to send any of these fairies in? We can go for. That's gonna knock. Yeah, I guess we'll just pass the turn. I mean, because we got Questing Beast, we got Cloudkin Seer, Wicked Wolf, we got another Oko activation probably coming. So yeah, no attacks. Let's just pass the turn to our opponent and see what we can do. So at least we're kind of getting, a little bit of a run through the deck right now. We're in a position where we're probably not going to win, but we're going to try our best. But at least we're kind of getting a good indication of what's possible. You can see where even if Saheeli doesn't get on the battlefield or stick around on the battlefield, we can at least, we have backups in the deck. We have Murmuring Mystic that's going to allow us to still kind of do the exact same thing that Saheeli wants to do. So if you're new to Brawl or you're new to Commander in general, and one of the things that you do want to do if you're building a deck theme is have some overlapping cards, because you can't have more than, one card in each deck. So when you build cards that have the same, strategy, that same sub theme, then that helps you really kind of push your game plan. All right, so we've got the, looks like we got the crew swinging in, and that's going to be 3/3. And that's going to be 7. That's going to put us down to 1. So we're going to go for this bird on Cloudkin Seer. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, so what now with this expansion, that's going to allow us to draw some cards. That's going to allow us to deal with that. We still have Murmuring Mystic sticking around, and that's going to put us down to 4. So once we do that, yeah, because the Biogenic Ooze is it's going to be a pretty rough uphill battle for us, but we're going to go for it. So damage to any target. So X is going to be 4. Going to target that Questing Beast. Get out of here, buddy. Tired of you, Questing Beast. We're going to auto pay. And then hopefully we run into a land for the turn. That would be awesome. If we do, then that'll allow us to still end up going for Radical Idea, which is going to give us an extra token on the battlefield. So, all right, so we're going to go 4 damage to Questing Beast. Get out of here, partner. And unfortunately, we don't. So we're still stuck at 1 mana. And not going to swing in, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. So let's see if we can survive. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 once they go for Oko with Gilded Goose potentially. And so... Oh no, but I forgot about the ultimate. Okay, so this is yeah, because even if we do swing in, we're sitting at 4, so just a timely swing in or a timely activation is going to be hard for us to beat. Now we're going to try our best, like I mentioned, but all right, so they're going to turn Murmuring Mystic into an elk, a little green dude, and that's really going to slow roll our game plan now. But with Saheeli being at 5, we can still get a few extra tokens down, so. We can try, and we still have Div Mezid, so I mean, if they do have islands, they've got 2 islands, so it's going to be 2 extra cards. And I don't think I have Mass Manipulation in here. Yeah, that's kind of a clunky spell for this deck, so we don't have Mass Manipulation, unfortunately. Do we have enough bodies to stop this? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have exactly just enough to stop an entire swing. We can at least make a trade with Biogenic Ooze, which would be nice. And so we'll probably end up having to trade our Murmuring Mystic with Biogenic Ooze and then just chump block across the entire board. After that, I think our opponent's going to get on this one, but you can see where, even if we're just building a deck like this, we're able to kind of hold ourselves. I would definitely consider Oko tier 1 for Brawl. It's 100% tier 1. And so to kind of hold your own against a tier 1 Brawl deck like this, it's pretty good indication. It's always fun to be able to just generate a board state from doing what you would normally do. So let's go Murmuring Mystic on Biogenic Ooze. That's going to be Fairy Token on an Ooze. That's going to be Bird on Cloudkin. And then that's going to be 3 damage coming across and still allow a few extra tokens down. Well, if that's no, we still need to deal with Biogenic Ooze. Yeah, because that's going to be 3, puts us down to 1. We don't have anything that really pays life, so we might as well just leave a creature on the battlefield. So, all right, there we go. All right, so we're going to get 3 go through. That's going to put us down to 1. Either way, we're probably going to not survive this one. So going down to 1 is perfectly fine because we can, if somehow we can win, we're going to have as many creatures on the battlefield as possible. So let's have this island enter the battlefield. I don't think there's... We can try to Saheeli. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 total mana. So we go for an Arcane Signet. That's going to be an extra token from Saheeli. We can Royal Scion. Or we can actually Radical Idea. Yeah, let's do... I think Radical Idea is going to be a little bit better. So let's go for Radical Idea. So we rip into Chromatic Lantern and then run away together. Yeah, I still think either way they're going to be able to get it. So, yeah, good game. We're going to go and scoop this one up. We've seen enough value from our opponent. Yeah, this is just trying to dig for some sort of answer. But they're going to get it on this one. But, that's fun. That's what makes Brawl fun is you can see how late game we got. And it really, playing Brawl really does kind of put you through the magic ropes in your head of trying to figure out what can I do to win? What can I do to do this? Because the games tend to go longer than most of your modern or Commander games. Commander games do go long, especially in a multiplayer pod. But as far as, 1v1 magic, a lot of these Brawl games tend to go pretty long, so it allows you to really kind of stretch those magic muscles in your head that maybe haven't been stretched in a while. And so if you're on the fence about playing Brawl, highly recommend it. Make sure you do. Have some fun, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.